Matt here with Keeping It YYC. Today we're joined by Sarah Hachey with Fitness on the Go. How are you today, Sarah?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thanks for asking. We'll get right into it and have you tell us a little bit about Fitness on the Go.
Sure. So fitness on the go is it's different than other fitness industries where you have a big box gym or a little boutique studio. We do one-on-one personal training, and I actually come to my client's home. And if for whatever reason they're not uncomfortable with me coming into their home, if they're part of that special population where COVID or they're more susceptible to getting sick, then we also offer online training. And I create a program that's designed specifically to that person's goals and their needs. And so no two programs are the same.
Okay, so when you say online for people that want that, is it a video conference type thing or how do you manage that situation?
Yeah, so just before our session, I'll send them a Zoom link and we do everything over Zoom. And I actually have a lot of my personal training experience online. So I'm able to, just by using Zoom, I'm able to see the deviations if a shoulder's dropped or if their pelvis is tilted funny. I'm able to tell those little deviations from just by watching them on Zoom.
Oh, okay, so you make sure you have it set up so that you can see exactly the right angles that you want to see to make sure they got the form correctly, and you can correct that real time even without being physically in the room with them.
Yes, yep.
Okay, that's really cool.
Hmm.
So my next question is, what have you been doing to adapt in this current environment?
So COVID definitely took everybody kind of by storm and kind of has made everybody think how to run business now that we can't see anybody and everybody's on lockdown and stuff. And it's definitely the same with Fitness on the Go. We did lose about 25% of our clientele due to the COVID because they just were not comfortable going online. But the great thing about Fitness on the Go is that we were already in the online industry as well. So we were able to move quite a few of our clients straight online and just continued on as possible. It does take a little bit of coaching and extra efforts on my part as a trainer to really cue properly when you're on video calls. So I've been just really working on how to cue properly, how to make it come across if they're doing a movement wrong. How do I correctly tell them that so that they're understanding what I'm wanting?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of challenges associated with that. I'm curious, with you coming to people's home or let's say meeting at a nearby park for your sessions, what's your feedback from people with that? Are they more comfortable potentially, some people, with that as opposed to going to a big gym, let's say, which is a little bit less controlled? How are you finding? What's the feedback? Or do people not like the idea of somebody in their home or coming to see them? How are you been finding it so far?
The feedback has been very positive. We do have very strict COVID-19 protocols within our business as well. So we always check in with the client before we come in. If they're not feeling well, then we'll just quickly move the session online. And if I'm bringing equipment to the session, then I'm very vigorous at making sure that it's clean. I don't touch anything in their home. I'll wear a mask. I have hand sanitizer, and once the session is done, they put everything back into the bag and I clean it rigorously for my next client. So there's tons of cleaning involved. And so just like a lot of other businesses have their standards for COVID, so do we. We have that in place, and we don't touch our clients right now. So it's a lot of, even if we're in person, we're social distancing, and we're also still just cueing. There's no physical cueing, there's all verbal cueing.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So my next question is, what can people do right now to support their local businesses?
I think being local is really important. There's a lot of places that are struggling, and I've seen a lot of a lot of friends in my industry close their gyms, their boutique gyms permanently, and it's really sad to see all these businesses closing because owning your own business is very difficult and it is time consuming and it's pretty much your life. And so I think as a community, if we can just come together and just really support each other. So instead of me buying something online, maybe trying to find something that was locally made or whatever the product is, I think that goes a long way, especially now with COVID and people who are really struggling financially and are not sure, what are we going to do with the business? Should we close? Should we not close? So I think right now, over anything, it's so important to really support our local businesses.
Absolutely. And you say everybody's going online. There's a lot of local businesses that are adapting and getting their stuff online as well and offering that to people, and people got to take notice of that as well. So
And I don't see it changing anytime soon. I can kind of see that online is going to be almost the new norm. I mean, a lot of businesses I think might try to scale back their overhead and they might just keep employees at home. And so I can see a big change, especially in the fitness industry and a lot of things. So I think if you can't adapt to what is happening, then you won't survive. So I think it's so important to be able to be adaptable as well.
absolutely. So my last question is, do you have any tips and tricks you can share in relation to your expertise?
On the fitness side of things?
Whatever expertise you may have. Open-ended question for you.
Sure. I think on the fitness side, I have seen, sadly in the news and stuff, I have seen statistics of mental health go up and people, depression is settling in because this is such an unusual for us this time right now. And so I think just have people keep moving, whether it's go for a walk, whether it's taking your kids to the park now that they're now open. I think that's going to be huge for really being able to make it through this. And so I think move, and you don't need to, get a personal trainer. You don't need to buy a gym pass or anything like that. Just getting out with your kids and playing and stuff like that is just so important. And then for the business side of things, to be adaptable. I think it's so important. If you can't, and it's been hard for me because I'm such a pen and paper person. I like to write my notes. I like to have, I have thousands of papers and I love having my notes. So it has been a struggle for me too to go online and have everything on a computer. But I think for businesses, just to find out ways that they can adjust. And if they're not sure how to do that, to reach out. There's tons of people that would love to help local businesses survive this. So I think it's just finding that really good network of people.
Absolutely. It can definitely be overwhelming trying to just throw everything online in the snap of a finger when that's not something that you've been used to. It's not something a lot of people are comfortable with. So that's great advice to seek help from others in the same situation, maybe a little further along than where you may be right now from a business perspective. So cool. Well, that's all the questions I had prepared for you, Sarah. We do ask that you end the interview off by looking at your camera, stating your name and the name of your business, and asking the people watching to keep it local, keep it YYC.
Right. I'm Sarah Hachey. I'm with Fitness on the Go, and I'm just asking everybody to keep it local, and support YYC.